Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. And again, I want to thank you for taking a little bit out of your time out of your busy schedule to come visit me today. So I am going to start a tutorial on this. It'll probably be in pieces because I just want to take it step by step. But this was a freehand treat I was inspired to draw. And how I got that inspiration was I was watching Cool Kooky Creatures, the monthly prompt she does for her postcard sew-along. So the prompt for October was to look up this Tolkien gentleman and his drawings. And I believe the drawings from him are the inspiration behind the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, the elves, and stuff like that. So it gave me an inspiration. I haven't been involved in her sew-alongs. I love them. I love the individual creativity that everyone shares when they do their own rendition of whatever prompt of that month is. So it gave me an inspiration again. So I went in and I looked up this gentleman's name. And I just said, you know, simple drawings or simple whatever. I just looked it up and looked up all the images. And I came across a couple designs or drawings that I liked, but this one in particular, the way he did the tree in that really gave me the inspiration. So I just eyeballed the shape and I drew it out. So here's a small version and I did it on a larger version. Now again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with anyone mentioned in this video, so I just want to get that out of the way at the moment. But as you can see, I did the roots of the tree, I came up, I did the branches, I'm going to put some leaves in, I'm going to do a little bit of everything in this. So here I reinvented, or I shouldn't say reinvented, I retraced or hand drawn the design, the outline. What I did down here, I have color pencils that I had from many moons ago when I was taking an art class. So I just added a little bit of green for the grassy area. But you can still see my outlines. And this is a pretty big piece. Normally like this, I wouldn't even put it in a hoop right now because it is slow stitching. It's a little bit of mixture of slow stitching and embroidery. But I thought for showing on camera and the purpose of having a better understanding and clearer image of what I am actually doing, I'm going to keep it in the hoop for now. So whatever yarns or threads I have threads that I purchased from Walmart. I get a couple DMCs when I can catch them on sale. I also have the friendship bracelet threads that you find in these kits. So I do a little bit of mixture of this, that. I put a little bit of yarn in it when I have to do some couching work and stuff like that. So for this particular portion of the start of this tutorial on this, I took 3 strands of thread. I have 2 colors of the brown. Let me see if I can get better. So here's the brown. It's like a chestnut or a dark brown. And then of course I took 1 strand of the black thread. Now this is regular embroidery thread. This is the Coats and Clark brand you normally find at Walmart. So I have my 3 strands on my needle and let's get this started. Now normally I follow where you do the knot on top and then the 2 stitches, which I'm going to probably do on this version of it. So here we go. This is a waist knot. And then I'm going to put, let me see, make sure I stay on camera and stay focused, and let me bring this up a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 little stitches on the outline. Of my tree. And again, you just come up and go down the other side. Just make little stitches. Now, For the outline, it's either I use the stem stitch or the outline stitch. It all depends on which direction you're going. It's the same stitch, but if you're doing a stem stitch, I believe you keep your yarn on the right. If it's the outline stitch, you keep it on the left. If I'm incorrect, please let me know in the comments section. This channel is for positive feedback, and if you have anything you would like to share or want to see, please feel free. But again, this channel is all for positive feedback and inspiration. So here we go. So I have my needle coming up, and I'm going to do the outline stitch. So I'm going to keep my working thread this way. I'm going to come down where I put that last stitch in, and I'm going to come up in between where my first stitch or thread is coming out of. And again, you're going to keep your thread to the back. All right. Again, keeping my working thread to the back, I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to try to make sure I maintain the same length in between so I have a good outline. Let me make sure I'm on camera. So I'm going to come up, I'm going to come in between, as you see, and my working thread stays on the outside. So you see how that is working there. Again, working thread on the outside. This time I'm just going to do a very little stitch because I'm going into a curved section. Okay, now we're coming back up. Again, I'm going to do another little small stitch just to make it work in favor of how we're going. And you see how it's building up. I'm going to keep my yarn, working yarn, to the outside. And again, I'm trying to keep all my stitches pretty much at the same length as I am doing each stitch. Coming around a curve a little bit, so again I'm going to take just a little bit just for it to curve correctly. Okay. Now I'm just going to keep going up the bark of the tree or the outside of the tree right now before I tackle that branch. So again, I'm trying to keep everything again, I got a slight little curve here. So you're working with your outline, you're working with your curve, so you just have to really take your time, know which stitch would work for you. You can do a back stitch, you can do a split stitch, you can even do a chain stitch. I mean, it all depends on how you want your tree to look. Each individual has their own unique style of creativity, and really, that's what makes us all special, because we have a different way or unique way of presenting our creativity. So that is the outline stitch, and that is how I approach the outline of the tree. Let me make sure my camera is focused. So that's what it's looking right. So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to thread another needle, and I'm going to work up this branch here. And we'll do that, and then that'll be the end for this video today. Again, I didn't want to make it too long and get into every step. But we're going to just do this because it's going to take some time for me to work on this. Because again, I have a list of many projects I am working on at one time. And I want to make sure that I share with you every step of my progress as I am working through this. So let me pause for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I threaded another needle. Now, I know there's variegated threads out there. Unfortunately, I can't, with a lot of your mom and pop places closing down or just don't have, they're just limited on how much stuff they get. I just create my own variegated yarn. So you can take two of one color, one of another. You could take one of each. I normally work with 3 strands. Sometimes I'll work with 2. It all depends on what I am working on. But majority of the time, I do work with 3 strands. So again, it's up to you. It's up to your individual perspective on your creativity and how you want your project to look and how you want to create. So again, we're going to work on this branch right here. Again, I'm going to do a waist knot. And then I'm going to put in my two little stitches to start. So that locks in my thread into my project. Now for this one here, I'm going to do the split stitch. So I'm going to try to come up real close so you can see what I'm doing. But you start out with a straight stitch first. You're going to go over the stitches you just created. Okay. Now the split stitch, you're going to come up underneath and you're going to split. You're going to come within inside the thread of that stitch you just made, if you can see that. If my camera will focus. Okay, you see I'm right in the middle of that stitch. That is a split stitch. So you're going to come up and you're just going to go a little bit in the front of that last stitch, just a little bit. And again, when you're working around curves, take a smaller stitch. Again, you're going to come up and you see how I'm splitting the stitch. You're going to come up and you're going to go a little bit in front of that last stitch. One more time. You're going to come up. You're going to split that last stitch and you're going to go down in front of that last stitch. And this is what I will do for each branch that comes through here, each branch, each leaf portion of where the leaves are. Even here I will do a split stitch before I do a chain, detached chain. If I work on any other chains or any other stitches, I will incorporate that in the next tutorial. But right now we're going to focus on the outline stitch and the split stitch. So if you want to do your research on getting, this particular style tree and draw it freehand, any style tree, really, you make it your own. And do a little bit, if you have watercoloring or crayons or marker, anything that we can give a little bit of color, even if you have to do a little bit of applique, of adding material for a grassy area, that's fine too. Whatever you can use. And then start working on that outline stitch and also the split stitch. And like I said, I'll make a couple tutorials on how far we get with this. And hopefully, if I have my comment or my posting section set up properly, I would love to see what you are working on and see, how much that you would like to have more of this done in the future. And we can talk about different designing or just coming up with different creations. I look forward to speaking with you again. You have a great day and we will talk soon.